Adrian was admired for his charm and confidence, but beneath the polished exterior, a restless hunger simmered. Married to Alara, a loving and devoted wife, he appeared content, yet secretly craved excitement beyond the confines of his domestic life. Every social gathering, work event, and casual encounter became an opportunity to feel alive in ways his marriage could not satisfy. It started subtly with messages to a co-worker named Vivian. Adrian convinced himself it was harmless, a momentary thrill, yet every smile, every playful word carried a dangerous spark. He knew the boundaries of loyalty, yet each interaction blurred the line further. The duality of his life, devoted husband by day, secret tempter by night, set the stage for a dangerous game of desire and deception. One evening, Adrian stayed late at work under the pretense of an urgent project. Vivian was waiting, leaning casually against the hallway wall, her eyes sparkling with mischief. The tension between them was electric. What began as playful teasing escalated into lingering touches and subtle, intimate glances. Adrian's rational mind screamed to stop, but the thrill was intoxicating. He felt powerful and dangerously alive. The first line had been crossed, and the taste of temptation became irresistible. That night, returning home to Alara, he was torn between guilt and exhilaration, knowing that the secret he craved could destroy everything. At home, Adrian maintained the mask of the perfect husband. He smiled, engaged in warm conversations, and appeared devoted, while his phone buzzed with Vivian's messages. Each notification was a heartbeat of excitement, each secret text a temptation he could barely resist. The secrecy consumed him. Every plan, every calculated move, every whispered word created a tension that thrilled and terrified him. The shadow of betrayal hovered over his life like a storm cloud, yet he welcomed it, drawn irresistibly to the danger it brought. The duality of comfort and temptation became his new reality. It wasn't long before words evolved into action. A casual touch became lingering contact, and a stolen kiss in the quiet of an office stairwell marked Adrian's first real act of betrayal. The rush of forbidden excitement was intoxicating, yet guilt clawed at him relentlessly. Returning home to Alara's gentle smile and warm embrace, he felt the stark contrast between domestic stability and secret desire. Despite the internal conflict, Adrian could not resist planning the next encounter. The first betrayal had opened a door that could never fully close, and the pull of temptation became a constant, irresistible force. Adrian's life became a precarious balancing act. He was loving and attentive to Alara, appearing devoted and content, while secretly living a world of passion and risk with Vivian. Each lie, each secret message, each hidden rendezvous intensified both the thrill and the danger. He craved the excitement, the feeling of power, and the sense of being desired beyond the comfort of his marriage. The duality became a dance on a razor's edge. Moments of domestic bliss contrasted sharply with adrenaline-fueled encounters. Every choice, every secret, every whispered conversation drew him deeper into the web he had spun, aware of the risk, yet unable to resist. Adrian had become addicted to the rush of secrecy. Each text, each whispered conversation with Vivian sent waves of excitement through him. The danger was intoxicating. The thought of being caught only heightened the thrill. He knew Alara trusted him completely, that every lie was a betrayal, yet the allure of the forbidden was too strong to resist. The thrill of deception intertwined with his growing feelings for Vivian, making it impossible to step back. Every glance at Alara, every casual touch, reminded him of the double life he led. His mind raced with calculations: how to see Vivian again, how to hide messages, how to maintain the facade at home. The addictive tension kept him in a constant state of anticipation, longing, and fear. One rainy evening, Adrian and Vivian met at a secluded cafe far from prying eyes. The dim light and quiet atmosphere set the perfect stage for their dangerous intimacy. Every word was charged, every touch intentional. Adrian felt alive in ways he never experienced at home, a heady mix of passion, guilt, and exhilaration. The longer they spent together, the more Adrian realized how deeply entangled he was, not just physically, but emotionally. Vivian knew exactly how to exploit his desires, and he willingly surrendered to the temptation. Each secret meeting strengthened their bond while simultaneously eroding the trust he had with Alara. The lines of loyalty blurred further, leaving him addicted to both thrill and danger. Alara began noticing subtle changes. Adrian's laughter sometimes felt forced. He seemed distracted, often checking his phone in moments she didn't notice. Small inconsistencies, once easily dismissed, began to gnaw at her. Adrian, fully aware of the growing suspicion, increased his efforts to maintain the facade. Every lie required precision, every alibi rehearsed, yet the tension at home grew. The risk of exposure loomed ever larger, intensifying the danger and thrill. He lived on a knife's edge, fully aware that one misstep could destroy everything, yet powerless to stop. Adrian's heart became a battlefield. He was torn between his domestic life with Alara and the passionate connection with Vivian. Every encounter, every message deepened his emotional involvement, and guilt began to gnaw at him relentlessly. He tried to rationalize his actions, unmet desires, excitement, craving novelty. It was all a justification for his infidelity, but the truth was undeniable. Adrian was emotionally entangled, caught in a web of his own making. The emotional stakes soared higher with each encounter, leaving him restless, consumed, and increasingly aware of the consequences looming over him. By now, Adrian was fully immersed in his double life. He could no longer resist Vivian, and every lie at home felt like a necessary shield to protect his secret. The thrill of being desired, the excitement of danger, and the emotional intimacy with Vivian created a powerful addiction he could not escape. He began prioritizing his secret life over Alara, thinking about Vivian in moments meant for his wife. The line between right and wrong blurred completely. Each choice, each secret meeting, each stolen moment pushed him further along a slippery slope where passion ruled and morality faltered. Adrian's life was now a precarious balance, one misstep away from total collapse.
If this story hits you, you can support the channel with a quick hype.
Adrian's secret life had become a world unto itself. Every glance, every word, every touch with Vivian fueled a fire he could no longer contain. At home, he played the devoted husband flawlessly, but inside, his thoughts were consumed by desire and anticipation of the next forbidden encounter. The tension grew unbearable as he juggled his responsibilities with Alara while planning secret rendezvous. Each encounter left him both exhilarated and guilt-ridden, his emotions spiraling in an intoxicating storm. He began to crave not only the physical intimacy, but the psychological thrill of deception itself, realizing that he was in too deep to ever step back. One afternoon, Alara noticed Adrian checking his phone unusually often, his eyes darting nervously. The subtle shift in his behavior didn't escape her attention. Though she didn't confront him immediately, a seed of suspicion was planted. Adrian felt the weight of this new threat. Each lie now carried the potential to unravel his carefully constructed secret. He became hyper-aware of his actions, calculating every move, every word. The risk of exposure only intensified the thrill of his double life, keeping him trapped in a dangerous loop of desire, guilt, and fear. The emotional strain tore at Adrian. The tension between his passion for Vivian and his obligations to Alara gnawed at him constantly. He felt alive in ways his marriage could not provide, yet guilt threatened to consume him at any moment. His nights were restless with dreams of forbidden encounters, and his days were filled with rehearsed lies, careful monitoring of his phone, and internal debates over morality and desire. Adrian realized that he had crossed a line from which there was no return. He was no longer merely cheating physically. His mind and heart were entangled in a web of betrayal. Every thought of Vivian strengthened the secret, while every glance at Alara reminded him of what he risked losing. One stormy evening, Adrian and Vivian met in a dimly lit hotel room. The rain outside mirrored the tempest within his heart. Every whispered word, every stolen touch, carried the weight of risk and desire. Adrian surrendered to the moment completely, intoxicated by the thrill of passion and the danger it brought. He knew that Alara, waiting innocently at home, trusted him completely. The thought of her unawareness intensified his feelings of guilt, but in the heat of the night, logic was powerless. The forbidden night marked a turning point, solidifying his emotional and physical entanglement with Vivian while tightening the web of lies around him. After that night, Adrian's secret world became even more consuming. He could no longer separate his desires from his daily life, and every interaction with Alara felt tinged with guilt and tension. The lines between right and wrong had vanished, leaving only a maze of passion, deceit, and danger. He realized that his choices had created an irreversible path. Each lie, each secret meeting, and each stolen moment with Vivian further bound him to the web he had spun. Adrian's life teetered precariously on the edge, the threat of exposure ever present, yet the addictive thrill of infidelity made retreat impossible. Adrian's secret life had grown unstoppable. Every meeting with Vivian, every suggestive text, had entwined his emotions and desires in a way he could no longer control. The thrill of danger and the intoxication of passion consumed him entirely. At home, he wore the mask of the devoted husband, but inside, his heart raced with anticipation of the next forbidden encounter. Each step deeper into deception made the stakes higher. Adrian felt trapped between two worlds, one of domestic comfort and love, the other of intoxicating passion and risk. The grip of his secret life tightened relentlessly, leaving him both exhilarated and terrified of the consequences. Alara's suspicions grew sharper with every inconsistency. A lingering glance, a delayed reply, a subtle hesitation, small signs that Adrian could no longer easily dismiss. The threat of discovery now hung over him like a dark cloud. Adrian became hyper-aware of every action, every word, every message. The very danger that made his affair thrilling now also made him anxious and tense. The tension escalated to the point where every heartbeat reminded him of the fragile line he was walking and the catastrophic fallout that would come if he slipped. The emotional strain tore at Adrian. He loved the thrill of his secret life, but the guilt gnawed relentlessly. Nights were sleepless, filled with dreams of Vivian and fears of Alara's discovery. Days were consumed with rehearsed lies, careful monitoring of his phone, and internal debates over morality and desire. Adrian's emotional fracture deepened daily. The duality of love and betrayal, comfort and excitement, morality and desire created a maelstrom in his heart. He was addicted to the danger, yet every thought of Alara reminded him of the life he risked losing. The tension between lust and conscience was unbearable, yet impossible to resist. The inevitable confrontation approached. Alara, sharp and intuitive, could feel the lies pressing against her. One quiet evening, she asked the questions Adrian feared most. The tension in the room was suffocating. Adrian's heart pounded. Every lie he had told, every secret meeting, every stolen moment with Vivian was about to be unveiled. He realized that no matter how perfect his mask had been, the truth had a way of emerging. The confrontation was unavoidable, and the consequences would be devastating. The double life collapsed in a single, shattering moment. Adrian's secrets, hidden for so long, were exposed. Alara's trust shattered instantly, and the life he had built on lies crumbled around him. The thrill and passion that once consumed him were replaced by the unbearable weight of guilt and regret. The emotional devastation was profound. What he had gained in excitement, he had lost in trust, love, and stability. The story ended not with redemption or reconciliation, but with the stark reality of betrayal, the painful consequences of desire unchecked, and the irreversible rupture of a life built on lies.
If you've ever felt this kind of pain, don't walk through it alone. Hit subscribe and stay with us. More real stories are coming.